boys and girls, Ms.Wich here. So good to see all of you. We're going to start our next round of lessons, and they're going to be video lessons. So I'm going to be showing you things through the video and step-by-step instruction on now what to do is going to be space drawing. Now, when I'm saying space, I don't mean outer space. I mean perspective drawing. And that's when we see something either close or far away. We actually started this right before we went into remote learning. So I'm going to refresh your memory by doing a little bit of the 6 tricks again, and then we're going to start our project. This is what we would have been doing if we were in the classroom. But don't worry, you're going to be able to do just fine at home. Hi boys and girls. Okay, so let's get started on our space perspective drawing. Now, when we started doing this back when we were in school, I already did this review with you. We already started drawing this and putting it in our element book. So again, I just want to refresh your memories because I know it has been a long time that we are going to go over the review of our space perspective drawing for this week's lesson. I want you to just take a piece of paper, and the same way we did it in class, that way you have it with you, and this is actually going to help you with your project. I want you to label your paper space perspective drawing at the top. I want you to then fold your paper in half so you can have the first 3, 1, 2, and 3 techniques on one side, 4, 5, and 6 on the other side. And the first technique that we are going to review is overlapping. That was our first, overlapping was our first trick. When we want to make something look like it is close or far away. Remember, that's what perspective is. In a drawing, you want to make things look like they are either close to you or that they are farther away. And you have to draw that correctly in order for it to look realistic. So when we have overlapping, that means something is in front of something else. I'm not going to have you write the definition. Let's just draw the pictures so you know what overlapping looks like. But I do want you to write the word because you will need to refer back to it when you do your drawing for your project. Okay, so overlapping is when we have one full object. So I'm going to just do my 2 circles. So I have my letter C curve, my backward C curve, that gives me my first circle. This circle, I want to look like it's in the front. So now anything else that is going behind it, I'm not going to see the full object. I'm not going to see the full shape of it because this one is blocking it. It's closer. So when I go to draw the one that's behind it, I'm only going to need to draw part of it. So I can go and make my half a circle. And this one looks close. And this one looks far. Now, there's another way that I can do overlapping, where if I wanted to start off with the one that was in the back, I can start off and draw that first, and then I can go back and take the object that I want in front, and I would draw on top of it. But I can't leave it like this. I can't show the one behind it with the line going through. I have to make it look like the bigger circle is in front. So what I would have to do then is go back and erase the part that is being blocked out. Sometimes though, I know some of you can draw a little too hard, press a little too much on your pencil, and when you go to erase, you would still see the line. I don't know if you can actually see in mine right here, but I still could kind of see a faint line of where that was, the edge of that was. It's an option, you can do it, but that's not the one I usually prefer, but that's another way of doing my overlapping technique. So that again is close, and this one is far. Okay, so 2 ways to do overlapping. The next one, number 2, is going to be using the size. We like to say that objects that are larger are going to be closer to us. So even if we were on a same level, so say I have everything on the same level right here on this line. If I have my circle that is bigger, I can have one that is medium, and then I can have one that is smaller. even though they are all on the same level, and I'll actually go back and erase that. That's why I did it very lightly. I just put that there as a guideline just so you can see how they are all the same. When you look at my circles like this, because the size of it right here is bigger, this one tends to look closer to you. Closer objects are bigger because imagine that they are right in front of your eye or right in front of your face. I know in class I gave you the example of an airplane. If an airplane, you were standing right in front of an airplane, it looks really, really big. But if you look up in the sky at an airplane flying in the sky, it looks really small. That's because it's so far away from your eye. So that's just my little example there. So this one seems close and that one seems farther away. Size is my second space perspective trick. The next one is going to be a detail. Now, when we have details in something, that means we could see all the little things, just like how you have a detail in a story. It builds up your story and makes it more interesting. Well, when you have more details, more subtle pictures or things added to your picture, it makes your picture more interesting. And again, things that have details would be something that you would see that is close to you. So my example that I always like using in the classroom is think of a leaf on a tree. If you held a leaf right in front of your face, you would see all those little lines, the veins of the leaf. Maybe you would even see a tiny little bug crawling on the leaf. But if you look at a bunch of leaves or a leaf that's on a tree that's far away in the distance, you really wouldn't be able to see any details. You probably wouldn't even be able to see a clear edge to it. So that's what we're going to draw for our detail example. I'm going to draw my leaf, and I'm just going to do something very simple. Say I have my zigzag, and it comes out, and your leaf does not have to be perfect. As long as you could tell that it is some type of leaf like that. And again, this one is going to be close, and now I need the details. So I'm going to draw that line. I'm going to make those veins with some diagonal lines coming off. Because again, it's close to me, and I'm able to see that. It's right up by my eye. But now the one that is far away might actually just have a fuzzy kind of outline. I'm not even going to have these sharp zigzags the same way I do if it's close to me. It's kind of more of a faded out kind of leaf. And I definitely would not have any of those lines for the veins of the leaf. And you can also see, to make it look far, I used the size of it. I made the far one look a little bit smaller. So that was my example of detail. My fourth trick that I'm going to do is something called line. Now, when I'm using lines that go back to a point, like our horizon line, that makes it look like it's going far away. So for this example, let's draw our picture. Let's just say we have our picture frame here, okay? And I'm going to use my horizontal line, and this is going to be my horizon line. My horizon line tells me that the sky is up top and the land is at the bottom. When I go to do my road now, I'm going to be using some line. It's going to be diagonal lines going back to some point. So here's my point on the horizon line. I'm not going to make a big dot, but I know where my pencil needs to meet. I'm also going to start to spread out my line at the bottom of this paper, which again could be size. My road is bigger as it's closer to me in the front. And then as it goes back to that point, it's actually called my vanishing point, it vanishes. There is my two diagonal lines where my road looks close in the front over here. The size of it's bigger, it's wider, and as it went back to the point over here, my lines went closer together, and I know it kind of looks like an A or an upside down V right now, and that is looking like it's farther away. My fifth trick is something called placement. And with placement, things that, if you refer back to my example of the airplane, things that are high up on your paper is going to look like it's farther away. If it's closer to me, it'll be closer at the bottom of your paper when you do a drawing. So let's draw that paper once again. Here's my paper. And I'm going to draw, you know what, I'm just going to put a simple triangle. I don't even have to make it look like anything specific. Let's keep this nice and easy. I'm going to put a triangle here at the bottom of my paper. And if it's at the bottom of your paper, it's going to look close. If I put that same exact triangle at the top of my paper, even though it's exactly the same size, because it's at the top of my paper now, it tends to look like it's farther away. Again, it's a trick. So even try this. Take your pencil right now and put it close to you on your paper. So if I had it like this, I always do this in class, and I know we do it on our desk, but if I say take your pencil and put it close to you, you would drop it down to your body here at the bottom of the paper. When I tell you to put it far away from you, you probably would move it all the way up to the top, away from you. So again, that's what you would do in your drawing. Finally, our last trick is color. Now, when we do some color, your objects that are bright and vibrant would be close to you. If it looks kind of dull or faded, then it would be far away. So I'm going to make this circle look like it's close to me with some color. And I'm going to make this one look like it's far. And actually, I will do it in color again. But for now, I'm going to do it with my pencil, and you can too. So if it's close, it's going to be bright. It could be brighter. Or I'm going to even say that it is darker. So when I go to color this, and I'm going to use my curve direction to make sure that it follows that circle and looks around. Always good to practice the right way to do our drawing and shading techniques. My circle looks brighter, it looks darker. I know it's darker pencil, so it doesn't really look too bright, but it is darker. So that means that it is close. If I want to make this one look like it's far, it's actually going to be faded. You can say it looks faded, or it can even look dull. So I would do the same kind of shadow in the same direction, but I'm going to rub this one this time. I'm going to just make it a very, very light gray. And now it looks like it's faded out. It's in the distance. And my example in school that I like to use all the time is saying that if I had a flashlight, imagine I had a flashlight, and I shone that flashlight right in front of your face. You might say, oh my God, Ms.Wich, that's so bright, because it's right in my face. If I was far away down the block, then that would be different. You would maybe look and say, hey, who's that holding a flashlight? I can't see because it's dull or faded out. I'll do it again with a colored pencil just so you can see. And again, my brightness, I'm going to use a nice bright colored pencil right now. Like this. Go around a circular direction, like so. And then I'll do another one. Again, I'm going to make this very soft in that curved direction, very, very soft. So it looks more faded out and dull. Okay, now if you don't have colored pencils, you don't have to do it in colored pencil. You could just do it with your regular pencil, that's fine. But if you want to challenge yourself or you want to see, because in our project we will be using colored pencils, this is a good way to get some practice in. Okay, so again, this one looks close and this one looks far away. I know this review has taken a little while, so I'm actually going to give you 2 weeks to do this. If this is a little too much for you to take in all at once, I want you over the next 2 weeks to review. So you could do the first 3 for 1 week, and then you could do 4, 5, and 6 again for the second week. I don't want you to stress out. I want you to take your time. I want you to understand all of these space perspective drawing tricks, because it is going to help you when we do our project. I give you the directions in the next video for the next project. Okay, everybody, good luck. Show me your assignment, your pictures in an email. If you would like to send me the first 3 the first week, that's fine on Friday. Or if you want to wait at the end of 2 weeks to send me the whole review, that's fine as well. Whatever you would like. Okay, take care, everybody. See you next time.